The things that you want most in your life now are a feeling of success, happiness, and world peace, because you're probably really tired of what you've been experiencing and the uh, animosity and the energies that you've been become accustomed to for so many years. But you see, Wilhelm gave us something else. We don't have to do that anymore. Wilhelm gave me the solution to your life, which means leading you to your happiness and success, because that's when you get to your authentic self. And then you start to live this great life and you heal, and then so does the world. Let me tell you why this is a new philosophy. It's not accidental what's occurring in our world. We move through changes, cycles in our lives individually, but also in our world. And this particular cycle is a really heavy one, meaning we're trying to decide which people matter more. That's where you come in, because now you have the opportunity to decide if that is you. Because we each have this thread that's within us that's meant to develop, but we've also been programmed to not believe that is true. And that's gone on for generations. When I first began doing live channelings, Wilhelm had me use one particular message that was given in 2017. I want you to understand, we may think everything is happening accidentally. It's not. Wilhelm has shown me that there are energies that are connected, and I'll leave some documents so you can see it. I had no clue that was occurring, which is why I said I've done something that no one else in history has done, which made it a little challenging for me. And it's also why people couldn't believe me. I've been talking about this for years, and people said that doesn't make any sense. And it didn't to me either, except when you move to a different dimension of consciousness, time starts to change. You're feeling it already because as the planets are moving, you're experiencing time in a different way right now. But what Wilhelm showed me is that there's an organization and they gave me messages corresponding on different dates throughout years. The same date over years, showing that there's an energetic progression that happens within us and also within our world. And then when you stop to think about that, it will make sense to you because you'll see the world today and it looks nothing like it did 100 years ago because people figured out how to do new things. And that happens when we live. And because of the conditions or what our individual life path might be, mine was to bring in a new philosophy. And I had to suffer all the pains of getting it there, meaning I had to know that it worked, and I know that it works. And so I can say to any person, I don't care who you are, what you're doing, you can achieve the ultimate success you want to have if you just keep breaking through the barriers that told you you couldn't. That's all. That's how I healed everything physically as well. It was just taking the time to study why am I disowning myself? And that's why I was sick. That's why I continually had all of these things. But I'm talking about this because many of you know I mentioned that I'm pulling out, putting all of Wilhelm's information together. So I'll be changing things on the program. But you can join now because it will transform your life and take you to where you've never believed. Something happened yesterday too, and it'll be out soon because my associate Stan decided to put together, because I never talk about this, he decided to put together the responses, the testimonials from people who have taken this work, and it floored me. And it floored me in 2021 as well because I couldn't believe what was happening. But it does make sense because with if I could have achieved what I have, and I'm 74, then I know that anyone can do everything that you're supposed to. I've got to say that because what will happen is that you'll just keep, rolling around in your head saying, no, I can't, because you've been programmed. There's a process that we all move through. When we come into the world, we have to actualize ourselves. And we can only use information that's been available that has been taught to us by others. Well, Wilhelm said they were going to give me something different, and I resisted every step of the way. When I first started writing in 1989, I wasn't going to tell anyone that I didn't know what was happening. And then I went through all kinds of hell for years, decades, and then it's all gone. I'm saying that because I have to stretch your disbelief. I had to stretch my own because I held back for so long. Years ago, people said, Roger, you should be charging so much more for this. And I said, well, I want more people to do it because, see, I know what's going to be coming up in the world, and I want more people to have comfort and understanding, and we can come together. But then I had to deal with the fact that, just like me, you can't get over that disbelief of what you can achieve. But I'm telling you, you can. And you will see all of this when you hear from the other people, when this stuff is going to be published eventually, from the others who have done this work and they didn't understand why it was working so well. And I will tell you why, because it was connected to universal source. It wasn't coming from me. This was coming from Wilhelm. And sometimes that becomes really confronting for me because I go back and I listen to the messages. I just published another one today from 3 years ago. You can hear all the information was in there of what's happening right now. And I could never explain that to anyone, which is why people couldn't understand or believe me. But I'm telling you that you can accomplish more than you ever thought possible. When I tell everyone the things that I've moved through with this work, I know it's going to be challenging for you to understand or believe it. Even my doctors didn't believe it. So it's going to be difficult for you. But I'm telling you, you have more ability than you can possibly imagine. I sat down every single day and wrote down this information and used it, and it transformed my life. And that's what I'm giving to others. Now, I can't wait for everybody to believe it because our world is moving in such a way now that it's going to be more beneficial for you to really come together and own yourself, and because that's an energetic shift you'll make. That's why I'm making these changes. But check out everything. I'm going to leave a couple links of the documents that I'm talking about where you can see where Wilhelm has given us all this information about the changes that were happening in our world and the energetic ways they might affect us. And when you understand that, you come to such greater peace and understanding and love of yourself. And that's what I wanted. See you soon.